Well, I'm back again. This is a follow-up from my video yesterday about the upcoming execution of Byron Black. And I've got some really disturbing news, I think, to share. But to backtrack, Byron Black was convicted in the thing of the late 1980s of killing his ex-girlfriend and her two children. The crime that he's been convicted of is um, is really horrible. But for that he was sentenced to death row, and he's been on death row for 30 plus years. The issue really is his intellectual disability. He has an IQ of under 70, and every doctor who's ever evaluated him said that he does have an intellectual disability. He has never fully understood exactly what all was going on with the court system, and even on his original trial, there was some clear evidence that he wasn't quite sure what was taking place. None of this excuses what he's convicted of, but it's just trying to put it in some context. And the Constitution is very clear, laws are very clear, public opinion is very clear that we do not execute people who have an intellectual disability. He could spend the rest of his life in prison, but he is in extremely bad health. Here's just a rundown of some things that Byron Black has. First of all, he has this intellectual disability. He has fetal alcohol syndrome. He has a bad heart, which is what I want to talk about in a minute. He has diabetes. He has failing kidneys and needs to go on dialysis. He has had one hip replacement and his other one needs to be replaced. He walks with a walker and he walks very slowly. And he has dementia. On all these things, this guy, his health is not good. But back to the heart problem that he has. He has had a pacemaker put in a couple years ago, and his lawyers were asking and went to court to ask that the Department of Corrections would deactivate that pacemaker before he is executed. And the lower courts agreed with that. And so a plan was in place, or we hoped that was in place, or that was going to take place, where sometime between now, maybe even the morning of his execution, he would be taken to the hospital. They would deactivate the pacemaker, and then unfortunately, they would carry through with the execution. Well, come to find out, the prison officials had never really worked that out. General Hospital refuses to do that, and so we were hoping that there would at least be a reprieve because of this. Because the issue is with his pacemaker on, every time his heart stops, he's going to receive an electrical shock to restart the heart. So simultaneously, while the state is trying to kill him through lethal injection, every time his heart stops, it will be restarted because of the pacemaker. And so this is going to be torture, which is why the request for um, turning the thing off before the executing was in place. Today, around noon today, the Tennessee Supreme Court ruled that the state of Tennessee can carry out the execution without turning the pacemaker off. And here is what they said. The Tennessee Supreme Court found that requiring that the device be deactivated would effectively interfere with the execution. By no means do we want to interfere with the execution. And by doing that, it will interfere with the execution, which the lower court does not have the power to do. So, as it stands right now, the state of Tennessee is going to kill a disabled person with intellectual disabilities and all other types of illnesses, from heart failure to kidney failure and everything else. They are going to attempt to execute him Tuesday, August 5th. And every time his heart stops, he's going to get an electric shock to restart his heart. And so this is going to be a long and painful and inhumane thing. Now, I know some people say, well, the people that he's accused of killing, they didn't have a choice of how they died. But here's the thing. In a civilized society, we don't take on the worst of us to make a point. We are better than that. And then in a quote Christian nation, we show compassion. There's an other ways for justice to be done in this situation. Because of everything going on with Mr. Black, this does no good to society. It's not going to bring closure to anyone, and it's not going to change things. We are begging and pleading with the governor to stop this execution. This execution is going to amount to torture, cruel and unusual punishment, which the Constitution says that we do not do. And again, you do not teach that killing is wrong by killing. And just as a reminder, if you don't know, if they carry through with his execution and Byron Black dies, on his death certificate, it will say the cause of death was homicide. Your state government, my state government, our tax dollars are going to kill an intellectually disabled person who doesn't fully comprehend and understand exactly what is happening to him. This is a travesty. Um, this is morally repugnant. Please stop. Now, please contact the governor and don't forget that this Sunday at 1 o'clock on Riverbend Drive, close to the prison, you'll see us in the parking lot on the right. We are gathering. We'll start gathering around 12:30, and we're going to have a march for mercy. And the march will take place from Riverbend Maximum Security Institution to the state capitol. It's about 9 miles. It's going to be hot. We'll have people with water. We'll take plenty of breaks. And then once we get to the Capitol, we'll have a time of prayer. And so join us for that. And let's stand against what the state of Tennessee is trying to do.